Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Chika. Today I am going to be showing you Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Chika. Today I am going to be showing you a beginner's makeup. I am not a pro. I am self-taught. So I'm going to share some tips on how I am improving on, oh my god. For starters, I'm very much like you, believe me. And secondly, I am allergic to some makeup, so I have sensitive eyes. So now we're going to get started with the actual makeup. I have just rubbed my moisturizer, my face cream. I got this. It's a hydrating primer. Okay, I would suggest this if you have dry skin. And this is a matte primer. This I would suggest if you have oily skin. So I have combination. I'm going to be using both. I have a beauty sponge. Now it's damp. My primer. And this is the mattifying primer, the one for the oily skin. Cheeks, on my nose especially. In fact, I do my best to coat my nose with it. I prefer using my sponge, so I'm just going to dab around. And you want to give yourself time as you do this, okay? You don't want to do this when you know you're going out in a few hours. Okay, I'm going to apply petroleum jelly on my lips. I have dry lips, so I'm going to apply it until it's time to do my lip makeup. I started my eye makeup before doing anything now. Personally, I do not use foundation. To cover my dark spots, I will use an orange corrector. So I'll put it in my dark spot, like on my dark circles, any prominent dark spot I have, I'll just put it on it, and you just like tap it in with your finger. I'm just gonna brush. The concealer will be used to shape the eyebrow when I'm done filling it. So now I'm going to fill it in. This is a retractable brow pencil. It's Wet n Wild. Yeah, Wet n Wild. Even eye pencil would work. Like, this is just what I could get my hand on. So I usually will start with light strokes from the front, and then just fill in the sparse areas. I don't want something too thick, so you just brush lightly, okay, lightly, like a thin line around the tail now, and go with short strokes because it's easier to control. When you do this, you take a while, you go back, you take a step back so that you can see how it's going. Your eyebrows are not identical twins, they are more like cousins, okay? So it can be tricky to get them to look the same. So this retractable pencil has the brush at the back, so I'm just gonna brush in the product so that it disperses better. Okay, so now I can see that the tail of the brow is too thin. I'm just going to make small strokes right on top. You don't need to be scared of overlining cause you can always clean up with a concealer, but do your best to stay within the outline you want. Brush in. I'm loving the brow. Now I have to make this fat match. So right now I can see some differences. You're going to track it. What's the difference? This seems a little bit higher than this. So now I'm going to fill in this so that it matches the height. And that's on top. You're just doing your best to match it. Don't go too crazy. Brush it in. Now it looks a little bit better. This just looks thicker than this. So now I'm going to fill this one in a little bit as well. So now it's kind of matching. Okay? I'm impressed that it was this quick. And now we're going to clean up. I'm going to be using this to clean up. You can use your foundation or your concealer that's close to your skin color, but I'm going to be using this because I usually blend it out at the end of the day. So it won't create this very hollow effect. Hollow effect like making your eyebrows stand out way too loud. It's like it's the only thing that is on your face. I do not want that. So I'm going to blend in as much as possible. So now I'm going to be using this brush. So you can see the slant, the angle it has. Just a bit of concealer on the brush. So now I'm just going to follow the outline. So you go as slowly as you need to. So now I'm slowly blending it in. I drag it down to blend. Now we're going to go to the next one. A little bit. You don't want something too much, else it'll be harder to blend. Okay, so now my brows, they are matching, relatively matching. Okay, don't worry too much about that area. So now I am going to go to the other parts of my face. I'm going to try to conceal the dark spot close to my brows. So here, this area, I'm just going to put the concealer on top. I'm not going to blend it, so I'm just going to leave it on top. You can blend the edges but not the actual spot, else you'll be moving the product from the dark spot. Okay, so this you can do for any other dark spot you have. I'm not too crazy about dark spots, to be sincere, but I know that sometimes I do need it, like hormonal outbreak and all of that. So, but for the moment, nope. So now the eyes. I apply my concealer. You can use a concealer or an eye base. So now I'm gonna blend it out. I'm gonna put more so that my eyeshadow pops out. Blend. Make sure your beauty blender is damp. Okay, you don't want to use the dry one because it won't blend anything. So now eyeshadow. I have two palettes, this and this, Rimmel London and Beauty Glazed. I'm not too familiar with this brand, but this is a very common brand, Rimmel London. This was what I started with, so you can start with this. It's depending on the type of look you're going for. So if you want like a very colorful eye makeup, you would go for the tropical edition or something like that. This is the crimson edition. Oops. I usually start with my transition color. So transition color is basically what you put above your crease. So the crease is literally this line. So the transition color will be going above the crease. Okay? and this is the eyelid space. I personally have hooded eyes, and that is when I look up, there isn't much space. When I look down, it looks like I have lots of lid space, but once I look up, it just like cuts it in two. Okay, so if I should put any color in this area, that you can see in this area, once I look up, it's swallowed, like you would not see it. Okay, so my transition color will be something that I can blend in. I don't want to go for a very popping color. I don't know the name of the shade, I'm sorry. So if you have the crimson edition of this brand, you just go for this color. It looks kind of brick red, but once I put it on my lid, it comes up as pink. Okay, so I'm going to take a little of this just to shake off some dust on the outer area of your eyes. So for hooded eyes, this is where the trick comes in. You look up, you look straight forward to your mirror, and you apply this. So you want to see how much of the eyeshadow will be showing when you're looking up, basically, because if you close your eyes, you won't get the right section. Okay, that's mostly for hooded eyes. So you look up. As you can see, if I try looking higher than this, you won't see much. You only see like the small area on top. Okay, so I'm gonna take it higher than normal, not too high though. Okay, so I don't look like a village auntie. No negative vibes, okay? Just a little, and then you blend. If you notice how I'm handling my brush, I'm not putting too much pressure, I'm just going around. Okay, I'm gonna do the same for the other eye. Okay, blending is key. I like what I see. I do. So now for the inner lid space, here, from here down to this area, golden eyeshadow, like shimmered golden ones, they flatter better than silver. I'm gonna go into this. So this is the Beauty Glazed, the rose gold edition. It pigments well, like when I say pigments, it does. So I'm gonna be using Birthday. So this is the flat brush you're going to be needing. So this, you need to pack the product on your face so it's flatter. Dab lightly. I want to pack much product as you can, because this is the one where you need to pack. Okay, you don't need to tap off the excess because you are packing. That sounded funny. You are packing product, that's what I meant. So you're gonna try to follow your eye shape. I see that gorgeous color. I'm gonna stop in the middle. So now I have the gold. Now I am going to the outer area of my eyes. Following some tutorials, people would suggest using this type of brush, like a pointed brush, for the outer area, but I personally find it to be much harder to blend. So I'm going back with the same brush I used for my transition color. Plus, if you're a beginner, you're still staying within the brushes that you need. Okay, so now I'm going to be using the black. It's literally called black. So if you're using a different palette, if you're using a different eyeshadow, I'm going to be using the black. So you just dab a little. This one is very pigmented. I took too much. That little dab was too much. So I'm going to dust it off. So you're going to be doing it from the back, from the outside of the eye. See what I said? It was too much. So I'm just going to put just a little. I'm going to come back to blend that. I'm going to use the same brush I'm not going back into the palette. I'm going to dab a little here too. So that's the consistency I want. I don't want something too much. So now over here, I'm going to blend. Personally, I love to have the smoky eye effect, but I was supposed to do it before putting the shimmer, because now there's higher chance of moving the shimmer around. I know the camera can pick that good, but so next time you just blend this part first before adding the shimmer, so that it can go in, and then you just put the shimmer on top. Okay, so here, nothing too crazy. Okay, I'm not going to start wiping it. Especially in beginners makeup, once you start, don't feel like I want to go back and wipe everything off, because you will never move from one spot. You will always be stuck. Personally, now I feel like I've made a mistake, but I'm not going to wipe everything off. I'm just going to work around it, and that was what I did. Okay, just try to bring it back. Okay, it's not a competition. It's just you, yourself, and you. If I wasn't allergic to mascara, now I would apply my black mascara, but this is a clear mascara. I'm going to apply it when I'm done with my face. So now I'm going to highlight and contour. It's nothing too crazy, okay? It's just that it has levels. Personally, everything, even a beginner's makeup, you are low-key highlighting and contouring, because if you're not highlighting or contouring, your face is literally going to be flat. I don't know how to describe it. Flat, not as in the shape, but as in the color. Like you have just one shade all over your face, and there's no dimensions to your face. Unlike when you want to like go hard and contour them cheeks. But I'm not doing that now. So now that I'm done with my eyeshadow, I am going to do my wing liner. This is Rimmel London gel eyeliner.
So if you need a more detailed eyeliner tutorial, leave a comment in the comment section and I'll get started on it. It's quite time consuming, so I couldn't squeeze it in this video.
So I am going to move on to my face. This is a Micellar water. I hope I pronounced that right. I'm going to use it to wipe any product that must have dropped on my face. I'm going to prime just a little. You don't have to do this again, but I just want to be sure. Even though I know I'm not going out, I am going to apply my concealer on my T-zone. So I have little forehead. It's not prominent. Okay, so my goal will be to bring it forward. So I'm going to conceal more on it than contouring. Okay, let's get started. It's damp. And then under my cheeks, I find the triangle shape blends better. As in, I've tried the other one where you just put half and then this other side. It leaves the center of my eyes uncovered. So it doesn't work for me. It works for some people, but not me. So you just want to make the triangle under your eyes. If you do the opposite way, like away from your cheeks, you're not going to get a nice contour. Or yeah, it's just going to be too... Don't do it. So now I'm going to blend. I'm going to look up so that the concealer goes in. So under my eyeliner so that it's as close as possible. So I'm basically dabbing and spreading. I am not dragging. If you drag, you have patches. So you can use a foundation as your contour. You can use just something darker than your actual shade. The part that you did not touch with your highlighting concealer is the part you're going to contour with a dark one. I'm going to use this to place it. I have a short space, so I won't be contouring my forehead that much. I'm just gonna make a slight contouring. Like, you want to reduce the size of your forehead, then you apply more. Like, you're gonna come down a little. Okay, but I can't because I don't even have any forehead to spare to be contoured. Okay, I'm gonna be using the bottom. Just going to blend it together with my concealer. And I'm gonna use the other part so that I kind of like merge both colors, you know. And I'm dragging it just a little to the edge of my contour. So this one I'm going to use to set my highlights basically. Yeah, I have a little of that powder. I'm going to use my beauty sponge to pick up the amount I need, which is a little bit much because my face is oily, especially in those areas. I'm going to blend with this part that is without the powder. Look up. And then apply. You get? That way you get less creasing. But you do not want to apply this white powder everywhere. It says it's translucent, but believe me, if you put this in the areas you're supposed to contour, like if you put it on the outside area of your face, like over here, your makeup will come out horribly. In fact, it's going to come out very white. I did that as a beginner. I have something on my eyelash and dust it off. Maybelline Fit Me. It's a finishing powder as well. It's the darkest one, but as a beginner, I did not have this. What I had was a face powder. So this one matches my skin perfectly. It is in the shade Classic Tan. So when I did my highlights and concealer, like the LA Girl Pro in the shade Fawn, like where my powder is now, I will use this on the outer part of my face and I'm done. But now I have something better, and that's this one. So this one is darker, so it works even better. Okay, so I'm just giving you your choices here. You don't have to do something exactly as I did. See what I'm talking about? Yes. If you've noticed, this area of my face does not have any product at all. So that is where my skin shade will go. Or if you have your foundation on, there's no need for you to add anything else. So now is the time I work on my lashes because I just want all of this to bake. If you can see in my nose, you're seeing spots. That is it baking, soaking up all that oil. Clear. So why I'm doing this is to keep my lashes in place before I apply my falsies. Okay? As a beginner, you might want to skip the falsies because falsies is like a whole part of makeup on its own. It's tricky. Okay, just in case, the lash I use is the Kiss Blowout Lash Pixie 02. Okay, so it's torn. That's why I'm not like ecstatic to show you, but this is what it looks like. I'm gonna push it in. And now I'm gonna use the back to blend. Okay, so to get rid of this white look, I go in with my L'Oreal face powder. It's my exact skin shade. So to calm all this white and to reduce flashbacks. So flashback is when you take pictures and it's like the middle of your face is a different person. I'm gonna go to the point where the contour meets the highlighting, and then you blend that area. Okay, you don't want to go too far, else you're going to lose your contour. Now I'm going to dab just on the side. Okay, just on one side. To me, my contour is done. Now I just need to blend this. I love a more natural contour. Just take a fluffy brush to push all of that product in and blend it. So this is my skin shade, okay? You can get something that's similar to your skin shade and work with it, okay? You don't want to use this type of brush. This is just too big. It's going to move the blush all over your cheek. This is the type of control you want, something this tight. If it shows too much on the camera, that means it's extravagant in real life. I'm gonna just tap a little. See the amount? Then you brush upwards. I'm using the Hard Candy setting spray, 12-hour hold. So now the trick is to use your beauty blender to press it in. This way you lose the powdery look really quick. Here. On the highest point of your cheeks. I take off some excess. I'm gonna put in the Latte to go in the center. So this is the final result.
She may be smart, she may be funny, she's changed your broken heart. I'll never be her, although I try. She may seem perfect for you, but so.
Okay, so this is my beginner makeup routine. Like literally, this is how I still do my makeup. Practice. Don't bring yourself down. Be prepared to cry. So when you cry, don't feel like you're feeling. Okay, you can cry, but don't feel like you're feeling. Okay. Thanks for staying this long. Bye.